I just got one question. How would you defend? Because back in our day, that's all we really had to focus on. But how would you defend today's offense? And the debate is, do you play five-man, man-on-man? Because the offense looks like it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the interchange of D and forwards. But how would you defend more effectively today? What would you suggest?
Well, it's really interesting because when you get 5 men active and you get, say, a forward cycling high and a D from the point going down low, do you want to end up defensively with a D man at the point and your forward playing the net front? Some teams don't mind that, but you're not usually in the most comfortable position. Defensemen tend to play well in front of the net. They don't really very often cover a guy who stops at the point. So a lot of teams have gone a lot more. At one time, when teams started the cycle, the D who jumped that man or the forward who jumped that man would, first of all, get close and quick right away. Try to keep the puck carrier's eyes down. Then you had to make some choices at the top of the circles. Would the man stay with this fellow if the D came down, or would they switch? And some teams still play a switch, Wally, and play some combination of man-to-man and zone defense. Teams in Russia who play this so much now with the bigger zones, the wider rink, they play man-to-man. They're prepared to have a defenseman follow a guy right up to the blue line. So really, it's your choice. We're seeing more and more now, though. A lot of times it's 3 players kind of man-to-man, and the other 2 players playing more zonal coverage. So it's a combination of man-to-man and zonal coverage that make it work.
I have a question related to that. Back in the day when I was involved with the women and coming into the women's game with the experience of working with you and the national team, and the idea of playing in a small rink, I always advocated, no, the D doesn't want to run out at the point.
Yeah.
And with the women particularly, because we didn't want to take them that far up the ice, being taken out of important spaces. So the rule that I applied with them was finish the check F1 or D1, man on the puck carrier. The most important part is that man on.
Yep.
As soon as it changes, there's another man on.
Mm-hmm.
But finish the check before the hash mark.
Yes.
That was sort of a rule of thumb that I wrote into it, and it worked for us, in that time period. But there's no longer the transition from small to big ice, but maybe there is. When you look at world championships today, are they playing them in big ice or small ice? And it makes coaching more fun, more challenging, but you really have to be tuned into everything you're talking about here. So,
and Wally, that's a good rule you had there, because if you can finish your check and get that guy close to the boards, that player close to the boards, stopped, it's one-on-one, so everybody else can read off that. It's when the guy has got separation and you can't close on him and get him close to the boards and actually pin him or hold him temporarily there. That's when coverage gets difficult. And now the D come in inside, we call it slip and slide, or they come down behind the puck carrier along the boards. We call it a high roller. Plays like that are so difficult to defend. Number one thing is, if you communicate, you do sort it out. So if you choose to play man to man, as long as you communicate, I got him, I got puck, the other guy knows, things work out. It's when you don't communicate that sometimes you have issues. And like you did, a lot of teams have little rules like that help to sort out the coverage. And that's really smart coaching.